Hello, my name is Alex and this is my sketchbook for Unit 12 where I studied female expression and gender identity. I just started off with a mind map here, just to jot some initial ideas down, such as life drawing and female form. I then went in and did my initial artist study on Jenny Saville, who studies the female sexuality, and she has some quite iconic paintings of the body, so I thought that would be nice to get into. And in response to that, I did some life drawings. And then I developed one of those life drawings into an A4 canvas piece as my first initial painting of the body. I also did another A2 piece in response to her work, using her style and painting a larger woman, like how she uses in her paintings. This is my documentation of my website that I made as in use of an art portfolio for my uni applications. Here I studied women's sexuality, looking at how they were objectified and then perceived as monsters until the feminist art movement, which I think only proves to the fact that if men cannot control a woman, then they become fearful of them. And I also looked at Betty Tompkins, who's a very prominent feminist artist. Here I studied Ellie Smallwood, who has influenced the way I paint a lot, and I also did some A2 copies of her work. And this is my mark making experimentation pages where I've looked at Tracy Emin and did some charcoal backgrounds. These are two artist studies I did on some prominent feminist artists. I looked at Ida Applebrook, who uses her disturbing artwork to study gender politics and domestic space, as well as the Guerrilla Girls. In response to looking at feminist art, I painted an A1 portrait of a girl showing the mistreatment of women. Here I have studied the history of women in art, looking at the gender imbalance of the art world and some strong female artists throughout history, as well as the male portrayal of women, looking at the Keane forgery case, famous misogynistic paintings, and sexist comments of George Baselit, such as "The Market Doesn't Lie." Here I've done a mark-making painting, trying to create depth using little application. After doing so, I wanted to study Henri Matisse and look at his painting style and his application techniques, and I also did some swatches of colour applied with a palette knife. I then did this painting in response. I actually really like this. This is quite different to my usual work, and I like the focus on the shadows, and then there's just a reflection mind map next to it. This is a study on my colour palette. I use a lot of green and yellow tones, and I also have done a page studying pink and its representation in feminist art, with many rejecting the colour to rebel against gender labels. I think it's nice to reclaim it and use it on a woman's most feminine features. This is just some sketching experimentation that I did. This is an A4 canvas painting titled Eyes on Me, looking at the pressure of women in society, and this is an A2 canvas portrait titled Neutral, where I include quite masculine features to break gender norms. This is a sketch of my final piece, and this is it. This is my final outcome for this project. I included those masculine features along with the same feminine colour palette, including the pink tones that I talked about around the eyes. Mark making with charcoal and the exposed canvas coming through was really important for me. And yeah, I really like this piece. Thanks.